Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer wants you to get your head on straight. In a world gone sideways, having balance and integrity in all areas of life leads to having confidence that breeds clarity. Clarity is essential to living an authentic life, and all the information shared on the Get Your Head On Straight podcast is designed to inspire you to live your life fulfilled. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Get Your Head On Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. I'm really excited about my guest, Jan, today. She has a great story about her Blair Chiropractic journey, and I can't wait for you guys to hear how she's been impacted by Blair Upper Chiropractic at Well Connected. Jan, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dr. H. Thanks so much for having me.
I am so excited that you're here. It was quite a little technical feat to get you on this afternoon, but we figured it out.
Yes, we did. We're good at that.
We are. So I want to know, Jan, how did we get Well Connected?
Well, actually through a dear friend of mine. She's like a sister. She's also a client of mine. And I was struggling really bad one day with my neck issues. And that's what started the whole thing. I had gone to a chiropractor right before this call from my friend Tracy, and I heard it in my voice that I wasn't doing well. And she asked what was up, and I told her I was in a lot of pain. And she said, I know exactly who you need to see and talk to. So next thing I know, I'm on a 3-way call with Dr. H and shared a little bit of my story with Dr. H. And she shared a little bit about Blair. And I decided, what the heck, at this point, I'd already exhausted every avenue that I could go down, and nothing had worked. And I think that's why I was so discouraged at that point, because it had been years and years and years of struggling with neck issues that started in college due to 2 accidents, 7 years apart. And it started some disintegration in my neck. And I knew I had disintegrating discs, but there wasn't anybody that could help me. I even had the top orthopedic surgeon in the world, really, but definitely in America. He was based out here where I live. And I went to see him, and he didn't recommend surgery. And he also said, don't ever go to a chiropractor.
That's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, because I did try traditional chiropractic and it did not work. But then when I started with you, that all changed. So that's
tell me
just a brief part of my story.
Oh, thank you. So when you said that you had tried everything, obviously you had consulted with a surgeon, you had gone down the medical route. What type of things had you done to try to solve the issue of this chronic neck pain? And give me more details on what you were experiencing.
Okay. What I was experiencing was, after my first accident, a few years after that, I was working at a Christian camp, and I was in food service, and I got up at 4 a.m. to do the morning shift, and I couldn't move my neck. And it was sudden. It just, because the accident had been a few years prior to this, and I had whiplash, but I recovered. And then a few years later, I woke up, like I said, and couldn't move. And that's when the food service director, I went ahead and went into work, and she took one look at me and said, you need to go back to your room. And she told me about this orthopedic surgeon, and I made an appointment with him and went to see him. And then after that, I just thought I was going to have to live in the pain. But the pain got so bad, what I would get is really bad. It's almost like, the best way I could describe it was that somebody had a vice grip and had put it on the right side of my neck, more toward the back side. And they had got my muscle in between the 2 plates and just started twisting it tighter and tighter and tighter. And I would get sick from the pain. The pain would be so bad that I would get sick from it. And these episodes always lasted 3 days. And it took me a couple of days to recover. And it got to the point where I was having these episodes almost every week. And so it was just my life. I got desperate enough at one time. I did go see a chiropractor for a technique that wasn't traditional chiropractic, but it wasn't Blair. It was called decompression. And he did several rounds of decompression on me, and that did not help. So then I just resorted to massage therapists. When I would have an episode, I'd try to get in to see a massage therapist, but that got really difficult timing-wise, and they wouldn't always have something available. And then I had a massage therapist who was a medical massage therapist who did recommend a chiropractor that she knew. And I thought, I'm so desperate, I'm going to go. He tried something, I got worse. I went back the second time. He tried another technique. It didn't work. And then he just was very honest with me when I went back for my third visit. He said, I'm not even going to do anything on you today, Jan. I've already done the 2 things I know that should help you. And I don't have any other tricks in my pocket.
Wow. Actually, I have a lot of respect for people that say that, because if you don't have the answer, to keep trying something and doing and not getting a result it's really bad. So I have a lot of respect for that chiropractor that said, this is what I have to offer. You aren't responding. There's nothing else I can do to help you. The unfortunate part is that doctor didn't know that you could benefit from upper cervical, right? So how many years was it before you had seen that chiropractor and then learned about Blair upper cervical chiropractic?
That was the chiropractor that I had seen just a couple of weeks prior to our call, our connection. And that was the last thing. And I pretty much, like I said, at that point had lost hope.
Wow.
And felt like there wasn't any hope. And when my friend Tracy told me about you, I was very skeptical. I didn't even really want to talk. Nothing personal.
Right.
In fact, I've learned to love you. You are amazing. But
I have that effect on people.
I can only imagine that I'm not the only one. But yeah, I wasn't even going to give you a chance because I just had literally lost all hope. This had gone on since I was in college, and I won't say how old I am now, but several decades have passed. And so I had given up hope. And if my friend had not said, hold on a minute, which she does, she's very active mentally and physically. And so often in our calls, she'll say, oh, hold on a minute, I got to go do something. And she'll go run, do something, and then come back. So, and Dr. H knows her, so she knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And so the next thing I know, she's like, oh, I'm telling her what's wrong. Cause she said, Jan, there's something in your voice. What's going on? And I was sharing the story with her, and she's like, oh, hold on a minute. I got to run. I'll be right back. And so I'm holding, and the next thing I know, Dr. H is on the phone with her and with me. So I was totally set up, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Well, I want to just quickly get a detail clear in my head. The orthopedist that was the top in the world at that time, was that years and years before you decided to try chiropractic?
Yes, that was when I first started showing symptoms. Then he was the one that told me never to go chiropractic.
And I feel like that was really unfortunate that he said that. Also, I feel like our profession and medical have come a long way to be able to work together. It's one of the things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about many things, but inter-doctor collaboration, interprofessional collaboration, because I have a lot of great medical doctors that refer to me and vice versa. I'm not a surgeon, and sometimes people need that. So I know who I can send my patients to for a consultation and get an opinion that I trust. So being able to have that interprofessional camaraderie is very important to me as a chiropractor in Orange County. And it's just really unfortunate that that doctor told you that all those years ago, because, you suffered for, as you said, decades with little to no help. And you said that you would have an episode, it would last 3 days, and then it would take a couple of days to recover, and it would happen weekly. So you're talking about maybe you would have 1 to 2 days a week where you felt functional.
Exactly. And that was my life.
For decades.
Yeah.
That is so sad. And it makes me even more happy to know how far you've come just in the little bit of time that I've known you. When did you get your first Blair upper cervical correction?
Yeah, I was losing track of time, but it was October of 2018 that I came to see you for the first time.
And back to that story about Tracy, I had no idea that she was setting you up because she just texted me and said, I've got this friend. She's got neck pain. Could you talk to her? And I was like, sure. She's like, all right, I'm going to call you right now. And she set me up because I wasn't expecting to get on the call. And all of a sudden it was like a cold call for me and you to be like, hey, you've got an issue. Hey, I've got some answers. So it wasn't like I was like trying to set you up. I just want you to know, but Tracy's phenomenal. No. Tracy's phenomenal at connecting, and she's such a love and such a great advocate for Blair. I'm excited to have her on the podcast to share her testimony as well. But back to you. So we got you in October of 2018. And how has your life changed since that first correction?
Drastically. I feel like I literally have my life back. I'm able to work. I'm able to play. I'm able to have fun. I don't have those weeks and days where I am just pent up in the house because I can't see anybody. I'm in so much pain. I literally feel like I have my life back. And when I had my first adjustment, I was really surprised that it didn't just help my neck. It helped my overall well-being. It was like my energy levels started to increase. My mental clarity increased. Everything started to feel better. And now I know exactly when I'm out of alignment because it won't just be my neck. And sometimes it's not even my neck is the first sign. The first sign is my overall well-being in my whole body. And it's just incredible how fixing one part of your body can change everything in your body.
Right. So I know that this has been a journey, and it hasn't been a walk in the park because your neck was a disaster. I remember looking at your x-rays and thinking, all right, well, we're going to do our best. I mean, I can't promise anything. I can't promise the 2-hour drive one way you made to get to me would solve all of your issues. But I did say, I will do my very best to get you stable. And you know what? You held your first correction for a very long time. You did get better. You've had healing. You've going through the retracing process, just like everybody does. And I know that there have been points where you've been discouraged, but it's always coming out better than where you found yourself in October of 2018.
Absolutely. And of course, I didn't help your work on me when I turned around a year after I started seeing you and had another accident. I was standing behind my husband's truck and his emergency brake failed. And it pretty much almost ran me over, but it pushed me to the side of the truck. So I didn't get run over, but it did push me downhill and I landed flat and I hurt my lower back. So that was the first of that injury. Yeah. But at least I knew where to go.
It's true. And the truth is, like, life happens. And so we have this protocol and we have the ability to take new images, and we were able to identify exactly what happened in the accident and get you fixed up relatively quickly. And you didn't suffer for decades like you might have if you didn't have the answer of where to go. So I want to highlight that you drive, I think, what is it, like 2 hours one way from a really awesome mountain town far, far away from where my office is.
Yeah, you're in Orange County and I'm in the mountains east of you. We're at 6,000 feet elevation, so we get snow and whatnot. But it takes, with no traffic, it takes about an hour and 50 minutes. But asking for no traffic in Southern California is a little bit like asking for snow in August. So it's just probably not going to happen. So it usually takes me, I leave a couple hours before my appointment time and I'm on the road. So yeah, sometimes I get there 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, but that's about it.
Yeah. I just am so impressed.
But it's totally worth it.
Yeah. I'm impressed with the dedication that you have. And even when you felt discouraged, you've listened and really taken to heart the healing process and accepted the journey that you're on. And I know that that's because the results that you're getting are worth it. And what would you say to someone who is skeptical? Because you also were skeptical about trying Blair compared to doing other things. What would you say to someone about that?
Well, I would first tell them my story and how I had tried multiple procedures and other medical interventions prior to this. But I would also encourage them, hey, give it a try. It's like, at least go once and talk to her and see what she can do, and have her do something with you that first appointment and see if you, because you'll feel the difference yourself. And once you feel the difference yourself, you're going to want to go back and until you reach that full healing capacity. And so that's what I would tell them, my story, like I said, and I would tell them how long I drive to show them that I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, I own my own business, and then my husband and I own a business on top of that. And I work in both of those businesses, and I am extremely busy. I don't have time to be running all over Southern California for something that's not worth it. But it's like I said earlier, this has literally given me my life back. And with the retracing, I still have times that I don't feel as good, but it's not anything like it was before. Even with the retracing, I can still pretty much manage through life. And those retracing times don't last. And it's all part of your body healing itself. And I know that when it's happening. And so when it's happening and I don't feel so good, instead of looking at, oh, I don't feel good again, it's like my body is actually responding. My body is actually healing itself.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's awesome that you get that. And it's a joy to know that your body is doing the work that it needs to do. And with your permission, I actually want to take a picture of your first x-ray and put it up for people to see what your neck looked like in the condition. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I've tried chiropractic. The doctor said I shouldn't go. I want people to see the condition that I found you in and how much better you're doing now. It's absolutely possible. Our bodies were created to heal. They just have to have the right environment to do so. And the way that I look at it, the Blair upper cervical technique gives that unique perspective and that unique environment for the body to be able to heal in such a way that it does transform lives. And you're the perfect example of that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. You have my permission, because when people see the x-ray, you don't even have to be a medical professional to read it and to look at it and go, oh my goodness, this girl was really bad.
It's true. So what does it mean to you, Jan, to live your life in alignment?
It means, like I said, getting my life back and being able to enjoy life. I would still do things before, because I'm not the type of person that will sit around my house and feel sorry for myself. And I am also not the type of person that would discuss the way I feel with people. The only way that Tracy, our friend, knew was because she heard it in my voice that morning, and she asked me, and she's more like a sister to me anyway, like an adopted sister than she is a friend. And so, I mean, she's both. She's a friend and like a sister. And so I felt comfortable sharing with her, but I don't like to complain. I don't like to dwell on the negative in my life. I want to reach out and help others. And that's why I was willing to do this podcast, even though coming up to it, I was scared to death. I was like, oh my gosh, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I open my mouth and insert foot? What if I trip over my words and I can't figure out what I'm going to say next? But you know what? I did it anyway because, when you asked me, I was like, yes, because I want to help other people. And so I don't complain, but I'm just so glad that my friend heard something in my voice that day and forced me to have to come out and tell her what was going on. And then that connected us. But I literally have my life back. And even though I wouldn't complain before, and I would still do things, the ability to be able to enjoy what I was doing and to enjoy even a day were pretty much veiled by all this terrible pain that I was in. But I would still do things. But now I can do things and actually enjoy them And even a mundane day where my husband and I, we work 6 days a week with 2 businesses. We work 6 days a week, and we take one day and do fun things or go for hikes or rest. And I'm able to enjoy time with my husband. I'm able to enjoy time out in this beautiful mountain nature that God created and placed us in, blessed us to live in. And I'm able, again, to just enjoy the people I'm with and enjoy the things I'm doing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for facing the fear and doing it anyway, because your story really is going to impact people. That's why we produced this podcast in the first place. It's my heart to share the possibility of health and healing through the Blair Cervical Chiropractic work, through the work that we do at Well Connected Chiropractic, so that somebody late night who's suffering with whatever manner of issue, migraine, sciatica, low back pain, a regular tension headache, they can find this podcast, listen to the stories of hope and healing, and be encouraged, because there are people all over the world needing help, and there are people all over the world ready to offer help.
Thank you. I have to say this, you've been a great encourager for me, because there were times, and you know this, that I would come in and I'd say, Dr. H, what is going on? Am I ever going to get better? And you would encourage me along the journey and remind me that my body needed time to heal. And if I hadn't given it that time, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So thank you.
You're so welcome. Well, I'm so thankful that you took the time to be on this show today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon in the office and making sure that you still have your head on straight.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So thanks for listening to Get Your Head on Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything to do with Blair Chiropractic, don't hesitate to reach out to me at wellconnectedchiro.com, and I'm happy to address any issues that might come up. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Get Your Head on Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. Visit wellconnectedchiro.com for more details from the show blog post and to learn what Blair Upper Cervical Chiropractic can do for you. To learn more about Dr. Hoefer and her practice, you can find her at Well Connected Chiropractic in Mission Viejo, California by visiting wellconnectedchiro.com for more information.